Hey everybody, J.K. Calloway here, jumping back into This Is Us. Season 5, Episode 13, this one's called Brotherly Love. And, yeah, this is going to be the conversation that Kevin and Randall have been putting off for quite a long time since they had their blow-up at the end of last season. Basically, just saying horrendous shit to each other. Basically, Kevin saying the worst day of his life when they brought Randall home when they were babies, calling Kevin a failure and telling that, Dad never loved him or they was disappointed in him, ashamed of him, whatever. Yeah, they got into it. So I'm kind of nervous about if it's the whole episode, which I would be impressed by and appreciative of. But man, if it's the whole episode of these two sparring, getting back together, agreeing, disagreeing, it's gonna be rough, but really good. I'm very much looking forward to it. Before we get going, make sure you do hit subscribe for me. I always appreciate it. Well over 9,400 now. We're close to 9,500, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. Hit like so more people find the channel. Turn on the notifications if you wish to. Yeah, we're 500 away from 10K. How cool is that? Thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. We're watching lots of cool stuff right now. Falcon and the Winter Soldier still on Mondays. Umbrella Academy, we just started up season 2. It's on Tuesdays. Doom Patrol will be on Fridays. This Is Us on Thursdays. So lots of fun here on the YouTubes. Also check out Patreon, which is patreon.com/JKReacts. Full reactions to all the shows we watch, including all the YouTube stuff, plus some exclusive content. On weekends, we do Black Mirror. We just started that one up, and The Wire. So those are great shows. Always full reactions, exclusively for patrons. Plus, we've done all the MCU, Iron Man all the way to Endgame, me and my 7-year-old Draco. And we'll do Spider-Man Far From Home at some point. That's the last one we have to do before we're caught up, basically, which was a hell of a project. And we're starting up a new one in, I believe, June. First and third Wednesdays starting June. We're going to do the DCEU because he's 7 and he loves superheroes. I liked the MCU. It was fine. Infinity War and Endgame were killer. Were amazing movies. And they were amazing because they took their time building every single character with their own standalone movies. I'm not seeing that in the DCEU's future. What was it? Batman vs. Superman was literally the second movie. It's come on, man. But I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll see. Let me know if there's any good ones. Apparently the Wonder Woman movies are good. Aquaman is apparently good. But yeah, that's for another time. Starting in a month or two. This Is Us, and this one should be intense, so let's jump into it. And I'll give you a heads up, as we do, I live in Minneapolis, just outside of it. So there will be a scroll on the bottom talking about the curfews that are in effect right now because of the stuff going on in Brooklyn Center. So, yeah, just a heads up on that. Don't know the difference between a taser and a gun, huh? Anyway, let's get into it. Episode 13.
Randall? Randall?
Randall? Is this a dream sequence?
What is better than watching Mr. Rogers on TV, huh? Seeing Mr. Rogers live in person? That's right! Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is filmed right here in Pittsburgh.
That's right.
You wanna go?
Yeah! I would have dug that. That's awesome.
The Fresh Prince has finally arrived in LA. How was the cab ride, man? Did you whistle for a cab and when it came near, the license plate said fresh and it had dice in the mirror?
You're stupid.
Okay, right now.
Pregame.
Yep. Jesus God.
Randall, there's some things I need to say to you.
And how many kids?
Just 2. Fantastic. There you go. And there you go. Actually, no, these 2 are mine, right here. That's my fault. No, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's an easy mistake. It happens all the time. We're just happy to be on the list, right?
No time to get fancy. I just borrowed it from a buddy of mine in acting class.
but it looks nothing like me.
He's a black guy, you're a black guy, it'll be fine. Hey.
Sadly, that's probably true.
And I'm sorry if you ever felt alone. And I'm sorry if your childhood wasn't what you wanted it to be.
Thanks, Cap. It was a beautiful monologue.
Shit, here we go.
You're annoyed with me.
Try not to be. Then you hit me with the ifs like you're apologizing for a miscalculated tweet.
Hey, I'm standing here right now taking responsibility.
Are you though?
What do you want from me, man? I'm not a mind reader, okay? I'm asking you, what do you want from me?
This is clearly going to be an episode. I'm not going to talk very much. I'm not going to talk over them. Commercial breaks. If there's something to talk about, I'll do it. At the end of the episode, we'll talk. But it's just going to be fucking intense, dude.
Yeah, okay, I wanted to do the right thing, Randall. I wanted to do the right thing, even though what?
There we go. Say
You
it.
can just say it. Your childhood, Randall, it was glorious.
And I just wanted to blend in like everybody else. But that was impossible in our family because I always stood out.
You changed the station, we're going to a party, not a funeral. Can you stay on Sunset, please? Just stay. Stop,
Dude.
you're a dick.
Hey, sir, can you just take me to the...
We're going to the club. We're going to the club. Get excited, Randall. We're going to the club.
Oh, I don't want to.
Sometimes you always have something to say.
Okay, come at me. I'm gonna kick you. Come here, man. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here.
You're definitely about to box.
Why you try?
Right. I mean, who am I kidding? I'd climb the fuck out of that thing.
Hello, what's your name?
What if I was white? Will we have the same relationship?
Of course. Yes, we'd be brothers. I would love you like a brother, and you know what else? We butt heads just like brothers.
No, man, not on this level. Last year, you told me to my face that the worst thing that ever happened to you was me being brought home to your family.
Yeah, I said that too because you were manipulating our mother to do something that she didn't want to do.
It's fine. Just get it out. Get inside. But, yeah. This is what you came for. I mean, this has been a long time coming, obviously. Like, way, way, way before the fight you guys had on Kate's lawn. Like, I think it was Kate's lawn, right? Someone's lawn. But, yeah, just get into it and get after it and get everything off your chest. Like, don't leave anything, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna suck, but you gotta do it.
I have imaginary parents.
Okay.
That's okay. We all have our own neighborhoods of make-believe.
I'm gonna try and paint you a picture, okay? Ghost kingdoms. It's like an alternate reality in your mind where you imagine the life you would have had if you were never adopted. I imagined that the nice librarian from the neighborhood library and the black meteorologist on the local news were my parents. They were the only two adults that I consistently saw that looked like me. Picture me at 5, having the same type of fantasy that a lot of kids have, but thinking I was doing something bad. But I wasn't.
I'm sorry there were things I didn't see when we were growing up. I'm sorry there are things I still don't see.
Right.
You are my brother. And I love you.
Dad didn't die ashamed of you. And the only reason I said it in our fight was because
It would hurt you.
it was a cheap shot.
Yep.
I am proud of you. And I'm sorry that I ever let you think otherwise.
Yes, but I was a bad actor.
You did.
Ugh, I gotta call my brother, man. I don't talk to him enough.
The rest of the world can't say the ugly thing. But we have to.
You're not just my smart, successful brother, Randall. You're my black, smart, successful brother.
Okay. Meaning?
And I think maybe I did resent that. I took shots at you that I shouldn't have taken. And I was more jealous of you than I should have been.
Uncle Kevin!
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? We got food? Let's go. Let's chow. Cheesecake.
How about some tunes with dinner?
Yes, Mommy loves that.
To be free. I wish I could hold round you. I wish.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, it certainly had intense parts. It wasn't nearly as truly intense as I thought it would be. But man, it was just yeah, it was awesome. It's fucking awesome. That end, the way they ended that with, you know, his ghost kingdom and his actual birth parents fucking, like, that's one of those I should have seen coming when they talked about it the whole time. But man, that just kicked me right in the gut. That was like, fucking, you should start up again. And then they had to bring it down because the next week on, May 11th. So, taking another month break. And then they said the final 3 episodes. So there's only going to be 16 this year rather than, I think they usually do 18. So, understandable with COVID, you know. But, yeah, another month off. We'll come back in May. Which means it's going to end right around my birthday. Close to it, May 28th. I don't know. But that was a great episode. That was an outstanding episode. I liked how they filled in with moments from the extreme past when they were both about, 5? Going to see Mr. Rogers, bastards. And then when they were teenagers, 19, 20 years old, literally getting into a, roll around fight. Which is gonna, it's realistic because they're the same age. I was gonna compare it to me and my brother, who we fought a lot pretty much until I moved out. Physically too, we would get into it all the time. But I was 3.5 years older, so there was a good sizable gap in our ages. We actually never even went to school together. He was 4 years behind me school-wise. So we never had to deal with each other all day. You know what I mean? As soon as I was out of the house, we became great. We've always been great. And, can talk about anything. Yeah. I don't know. We're his brothers. He's my brother. He's become an amazing man. He's a really, really good dude. Busts his ass, takes care of his family. He's a great father. He had kids before I did, and I'm older. And I've taken some of what I've seen of his interaction with his kids, and I've been that way with my kids because he's a great dad. I'm lucky to have my brother. He's a good dude, and if he ever sees this, he'll make fun of me for saying it. But that was a beautiful episode, and the one thing I didn't want to happen was things left on the table. And I feel like things are left on the table with that conversation, honestly. Yeah, they got a lot of things out, especially with, Randall's isolation, what he felt growing up. They got a lot of that out. But they didn't get everything out. They didn't get really any of Kevin's stuff out. Because he's got stuff. I was jealous of you because you were smarter than me, or what all those things. But then they turned it to because you were my black brother, and I felt jealous because you got preferential treatment. And it's yeah, I get that you as a kid would feel that. And yes, you can apologize for things you did as a kid, but that's he wasn't treated differently because he was black. He was treated differently because he was different. It wasn't his race per se. I'm sure it had at times that was true. I remember very specifically, I think it was season 1, the pool episode where, you know, a black mother who was at the pool as well, you know, commented on Randall's neck, how it wasn't being cut properly. I mean, not the neck, his hair, but, you know, stuff like that, because they had to take more care in it and stuff. And because they didn't know, obviously, you know, and they didn't apparently ask. What's kind of confusing to me in a lot of ways is, I mean, Jack had Miguel. He's a different race, but not black. How didn't they have any black friends? Like, you suburban Pittsburgh, right? Like, come on now. I remember growing up, my folks had mostly black friends, I think, or at least it was a solid mix of everybody. Like, we were a melting pot in my house at all times. My mother's half Native American. I'm a quarter. Thank you. You're welcome. What? I don't know. But, you know, all of them were really cool, and they were always around, and it was cool. I mean, they grew up in Milwaukee. My mom grew up in Milwaukee, so. But we'd go out there all the time. It felt like once a year, you know? And then, you know, all, like, my dad and mom were in bowling leagues, and they were always paired up with Mitch and Linda, I think their names were. Me and my brother were friends with their kids, Mitch and LaRon. And LaRon? Taryn. Not LaRon. LaRon was older than all three of us. It was LaRon, was oldest, and then Mitch was my age, and Taryn was my brother's age. Dumb Joe. That's not my real name. And it, like, wasn't weird. Like, you know what I mean? It never, ever was weird. I found the weirdest shit when I got older and, like, met racist white kids. And there were some, like, I can't lie about it. You know, it was rare, but, you know, we lived just south of Minneapolis. Like, you know, we had every kind of race around. A lot of Asian kids in our school, a lot of black kids, a lot of Mexican kids, a lot of white kids, mostly white kids, because Minnesota. But, you know, it was so weird to me to hear a white person be like, oh, black people are gross. Like, what? What? Have you never been around black people? Why do you live with, why? Why would you do that to yourself? It's fucking weird. I don't get racism. It completely eludes me. And I'm sure I treat other people of a different race like slightly different, or try to be silly or something like that. And I'm sure I've been insensitive over the years and at certain points. Certainly not trying to be. But I'm self-aware enough to know that, like, sometimes I've probably offended people with stupidity or trying to be funny. You know what I mean? I guarantee it. I know it. But it's like, to just look at another human being and judge them based on their pigment is the stupidest shit. Like, I can't even wrap my fucking head around it. Other than white people, you can look at white people and know they're bad people. No, that's the kind of the point. No, of course not. Remember the movie Bulworth? Like, it wasn't a great movie. It was fine. But it had a great line in it where I think the character was talking about racism. And he said, do we just need to keep fucking each other till we're all the same color? And yeah, we kind of do. Because sadly, there's so much ignorant pricks, and it seems like they're multiplying. They're not. It's just with social media, you hear more of their stupid fucking voices. They don't sit in their basements all alone. Now they get to type things. Poorly, mind you. But yeah, like, there's not more racism. It's so much less than it ever was. Obviously, it's fading away. It's just not fading fucking fast enough. Anyway, soapbox over. Like, I'm glad. Yeah, it was beautifully written. I would love to know if there are any black writers on staff, though. That's kind of, like, that's my first thought of this whole, like, talking about race with Randall. Cool. Is there any black writers on staff? You know what I mean? Like, let's make sure the actual experience is being taken account, not just what us white people think. So I don't know. If you know, comments, let me know. What their writer room looks like. But I liked it. I think there was some great points made. Mostly by Randall. But, and I totally understand Kevin because I feel the same way. Like, I'm certain, like, obviously I'm not a fucking racist prick. But at the same time, I know there's people I've offended or what's the the only word I can think of is belittled, but that's certainly not the right word. I've never belittled someone else because of their race. Discounted? I don't know. There's not a right word to what I'm trying to describe, I guess. But I get it. Being white in America is normal. That's fading away, which is awesome. I think that's awesome. Clearly there's a sect in this country. Sect? That's a weird word to describe sad white people, but yeah. They're like, get rid of white genocide. Fuck off. Fuck all the way off. We're the great American melting pot. That's what we've always said. If you got a problem with it, America, love it or leave it, bitch. Thank you guys for watching. Comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode and all my bullshit ranting. I'm not going to cut any of it. Fuck you guys. You can hear all of it. So, debate on whether I'm a prick or not. I'm sure I am. But, and how you feel about racism. Someone be brave and say you're a racist. I dare you. Please get massacred on social media. Fuck those people. Hope they die in a fire. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back May, if that's the 11th, we'll be back the 13th at the latest. But yeah, I wish they got it a little bit more into it. The Mr. Rogers thing was cool. The getting drunk thing was fine, but it didn't have to be that much of the episode. Let's be real. I wanted to see more of now Randall and now Kevin talking, but hey, it was still great. I can't wait to see the final 3. Thank you guys for watching. We'll talk to you next time.